Hi, everyone. Craig asked me to share a little bit of my story, and I'm happy to let you in on a little bit of my testimony and how I got to where I am today. And only by the grace of God has that happened. I started out as an engineer, so a very pragmatic mind, very analytical. Got to go to Texas A&M, so I am an Aggie, and that led me into the manufacturing world, where I spent time in a plant facility and then eventually went on to steel formation and recycling. So that very highly technical world that I enjoyed, but there was something missing. So I worked on my master's in business administration, and that opened me up to the world of healthcare, specifically healthcare data. So once again, using a lot of my engineering accolades, it was a way of creating the analytical mindset for how we could improve processes around healthcare. During that time, I had slowly started to develop my affinity for Christ. It was a very slow process, and working in to building up my rapport in the church, our local church at Crossroads Christian Church in Grand Prairie, and getting more involved in the media ministry and really understanding where God had placed on my heart the want to serve and serve His people. After the MBA and into healthcare, I became a little bit more of a voice for Christ, and I'm afraid that I ran into some roadblocks there. I had some people, even within my organization, make fun of my faith and give me a bit of a hard time for it. However, I stayed strong, stayed true to that. Unfortunately, my time at that company was done, and I was let go in the middle of the COVID pandemic in 2020. It was 5 months into that where I would finally find a new opportunity, but that was after a very long period of hitting my knees more often, speaking to God, waiting for Him to give me some kind of discernment on where I was going and what I was going to be doing next. But He really opened my heart for the nonprofit space. And because of my time at Dallas Baptist University and my second year of PhD studies, specifically in leadership, I knew that as a leader, I would have to be more in tune with God and what He had set for me, using my analytical skills as well as my business acumen, and then pushing that all into a place of a little bit of discomfort, a little bit more of a challenge. And so I ended up, fortunately, with an old high school friend of mine whose family had started this company called CK Family Services. And it's a child placement agency that works with both adoption and foster care youths and putting them in the right care so that they can flourish as they reach adulthood. It is a God-ordained ministry and organization that I'm very proud to be a part of now. And I'm bringing out all of my process improvement skills to work here in the operations portion of the business. So I finally found a place where my faith and my talent was colliding together. My calling and my career was putting myself in a space where my faith would not be a hindrance, yet would be more of a booster to my career. And it was through patience, through grace, and through humility from God that I even arrived here after a 5-month hiatus. So I do thank Him specifically for this jagged road. And I'm even more thankful for my ride or die, my best friend, my wife, Sarah, who supported me throughout this entire time looking for this opportunity. It's simply by His grace and for His glory that all these things came to be, and now I'm on a new chapter of my life. So if this is of any benefit to anyone there, be strengthened, be confident, and know that God is looking out for you regardless of the circumstances, especially with COVID and the pandemic and everything that we're battling through. We serve a wonderful and loving God that wants the best for us. and I consider it pure joy when facing trials of many kinds. So I know that those trials produce perseverance and steadfastness, and it's only by His faith and His grace that I go. So be encouraged, and again, thank you for spending this time with me.